Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Hank Goldberg here in Las Vegas, and we're going to rehash a little bit, or maybe a lot, of what happened in the Super Bowl. Hank and I seem to have the same opinion of what happened. And Hank, good morning.
Morning.
It was it deja vu all over again? Atlanta, and now the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan It looked like he was doing the same thing he did before.
Well, their game plan defensively was exactly what I thought it was going to be. They went after Mahomes. They took him out of his game. For the first three quarters, he played the worst game he's played all year. They sacked him a couple of times. I think they sacked him 3 times. They intercepted him twice. He fumbled twice. He couldn't do anything. I had under 309 yards for Mahomes. I won that bet. And he had nothing going. They totally took him out of his game by dropping 6 guys back into coverage, and they stopped him from hurting him. And then somehow, he on the 3rd and 15, he completes that 42-yard pass. He was going to complete one big play in the game. He always does. And then Sherman got beat badly on the second pass that scored, and that was that. And but something. The big mistake was when they were, even after that first touchdown. There's 5 minutes left in the game. They're ahead in the game, and all they have to do is use time and hold on to the ball. And they forgot about their running game. And here they've got, I thought he was going to take the ball out of Garoppolo's hands because, that's not his time of day historically. And because he played well enough to give him a 20-10 lead. And, he made some good plays. He made some really good throws in the game. And they made some great calls early in the game. When they jammed the box, he threw that touchdown pass. It was to the fullback, who had a great game. Where was the fullback when they needed him at the end? 2nd and 5. Use him.
Yeah, you check.
Instead, he's throwing the ball twice. All they have to do is make a first down and keep going, and they're going to win the game.
And it's, excuse me, it's exactly the situation he had with Atlanta years ago against the New England Patriots. All he had to do was keep the ball, run that clock, and he'd win the game. Same thing. Almost identical, not exactly. It's, wow. But it was, the one thing about it, I will say this. I was at a friend's house for a Super Bowl party. It was good food, good company. We had a good time. It was exciting. The halftime show and a lot of the commercials were great. And it was a great day. I made some money on some props. I had the total. I only gave out one play. I gave out San Francisco, so I lost that. But I had some prop bets that won. I had the under. Well, I had under 55.5, which was an incredible price to find, and so I won that. But overall, it was a decent day, and I cashed a big bet on Uchek getting a touchdown, so that was good. But it was a great day, socializing, fun, and I was disappointed in Shanahan again. I mean, that's. But I was happy for Andy Reid. Andy Reid's a great guy. I know you know him. I do not, and it was nice to see him get the Super Bowl ring before he retires.
Well, he's probably going to get some more. I'll tell you something, though. I had, I gave out the game. I gave out the under, which I liked a lot. And so I split. Because I had San Francisco to win the game going in, because I had bet them before the last game of the season. All I had to do was win. But I also bet a prop that the final total, the final win would come between 4 and 6 points. I got that. I had Mahomes under 300 yards, 309 yards passing. I got that. I had over field goals in the game, which I lost by a half a point. But I said that the first score in the game would be a field goal, and I got that. I had over interceptions in the game. I had that. So between those props, I made money on the game. So, but I wanted to be right for the television show, so I wound up going 1-1, on the television shows that I did, because I was very high on the under. And the sports books, I know their biggest risk was that the game was going to go over. They needed the under badly in the game, and so they came out okay, and I'm sure they made money on the prop bets.
Well, I'm sure they did, yeah. I don't know how many prop bets there are in the country total, but it's a lot. It was fun. It was a great season. The NFL always is a great product, and then they have their flaws like everybody and everything does, but it was a great season. The NFL rocks.
I thought the highlight of the show was Shakira. She's unbelievable.
Yeah, she always has been.
But I've been watching the shows this morning, and people are upset because they thought that the Super Bowl's a family show. But she was hot.
There's no question. If you're talking about kids and stuff, maybe that was a little bit on the, the other side. But for me, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of the people enjoyed it, but I could see some faces in the crowd that weren't happy. But they're incredible. Shakira and J-Lo put on a great halftime, in my opinion, and yours too, obviously. Anyway, now we move on.
I watched the game with a lot of guys, Bruce Marshall and, Jerry Eisenberg was with me, and Big Mike, and Andy Hisco was there. He had quite a media group on hand. And at the Sunset, Chuck Esposito. And so I think Bruce and I were on the same side in the game. But it was a nice afternoon. They had a good setup for there, and I think the crowd, most of it, was happy with Kansas City.
Hank, when this started, I know both of us have seen all 54 games. I don't think anybody ever imagined it would turn into almost like a national holiday. It's incredible how big it is. But now we move on. College basketball and the NBA take over. Golf is in the mix on the weekends. And, of course, baseball will be starting up in a couple months. And then we watch the off-season moves by all the teams, the quarterbacks changing positions, changing teams, coaches, and all the new things. And sports never stops. It's as long as we can avoid strikes and national disasters, we have sports 365 days a year, and that's great.
Well, this week you got Pebble Beach, which is a major golf tournament, and college basketball is. I had another good week of picking Kyle. I was very well ahead going into yesterday, so I had another big winning week. I had yesterday's college basketball games. I had Monmouth, which is one of my favorite teams. I had Georgetown over St. John's, which I won by 1 point. And I had Miami taking the points against Pittsburgh. So I won 3 games yesterday, but I lost Illinois against Iowa. So, but it was a good game. UCLA beat Utah. UCLA's coming on and playing a little bit better. Today, Florida State, North Carolina, and Baylor, Kansas State are the big games. And Kansas is playing against Texas. And then tomorrow you got Auburn and Arkansas. That's a good game. Duke will be playing Boston College. Just some, big games tomorrow. Maryland, Rutgers. Boy, Rutgers just keeps rolling.
Yeah, they do, and this is it. I mean, we got like 4 weeks, 5 weeks before the March Madness and all that, and that's an exciting time. And Vegas, the Vegas hotels, of course, fill up for Super Bowl, and they do again for March Madness. The only difference is the people stay longer because it's not a one weekend deal. And the town really brings in a lot of people.
Well, they really show up for the first weekend because they've got so many games over the 4-day period.
Correct.
I think the business falls off a little bit after the first week.
Yeah, it does. It does. Great times, Hank, and we had an interesting, exciting football season, you and I, and we'll continue.
Well, there's one thing piece of news that they broke for you. One of the insiders on ESPN that Brady may be talking to the Raiders about coming to Las Vegas. I don't believe that story, by the way. The second big story is that the Players Association will vote on extending the season to 17 games.
Okay.
And we'll see if that happens.
The one thing about the first thing you brought up about him talking to the Raiders, I was with some of the people at the party that I was at were real estate agents. And apparently Brady has looked at homes here. I don't know why he would do that. It could be a second home. It could be. I have no idea. I'm not saying he's planning on being a Raider, but he is at least considering buying a home here in Las Vegas. For whatever.
Well, we'll see what his wife has to say about that. But he's tight with the guys who run the kickboxing sport.
Okay.
And his friendship with them may have something to do with that.
Yeah, that would be Dana White, I think you're talking about.
Who?
Didn't Dana White start that?
Dana White's a good friend of his.
Right. All right, Hank, we'll talk again on Wednesday. Thank you.
Okay, have a good week.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye. Yeah, yeah, everybody, the Super Bowl was, it was, for me, it was disappointing because I thought we had the win with San Francisco, and I am disappointed in Kyle Shanahan. I was when he had the team in Atlanta, and they led the league in scoring, and then a 28 to 3 point lead at halftime, and then really messed it up at the end. But he sort of did the same thing yesterday. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is not, Matt Ryan by any stretch. So is he afraid of using Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, he didn't look like he was afraid of using him because he was throwing the ball quite a bit, which I don't quite understand with the running game that they have and the success they have with it. But he did the same thing in Atlanta. He goes to the pass, and I think he's going to do another regretting tour for the next whatever long it takes for him to get back there again. But hats off to Andy Reid, Kansas City, did a great job. Mahomes did not play well, but he was all game. But he was playing against a pretty damn good defense, and you're not always playing weak defenses, and that's a good defense, or kind of exceptional in some ways. So, but then when he started to look deep and they broke some receivers free, he has the arm to cover the field, and he's pretty accurate on those long passes. He was not accurate on the shorter passes and the intermediate passes. He was consistently a little off target, throwing a little behind the receivers. A couple of them got picked off, but he's a hell of a talent. He'll be around a long time, barring injury, And the NFL is going through a lot of transition. Coaches are changing. Quarterbacks are getting older. The Rivers, the Breeze, the Brady, the Aaron Rodgers. So we're bringing in these new kids, the Garoppolos and the Mahomes and the Jacksons. And I think the league is in really good shape for a great future. They're embracing now Las Vegas, and we're going to have a team here starting next year. We're excited about that. I don't know how good they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be exceptional, but I think they will be decent for sure. And then they play in the division with Kansas City and Denver and the Chargers. I do think Denver is going to be a bit of a sleeper next year. They could be very tough, but you can't mess around too much with Kansas City because they're going to be tough too. So anyway, it's on to basketball, the NBA, and we're going to try to pick up some coin the next 4 weeks before March Madness starts and all those conference tournaments, which are exceptionally good. And we're excited. And then, of course, baseball. So it's an exciting, it's always exciting. I've been doing this for over a half a century, and I don't know, maybe something mentally wrong with me, but I still get excited about what I do. And we try to make you money. We made you money in the NBA, or the, not NBA, NFL. And right now, actually, in the NBA, we're a little ahead. So, but in the NFL, we had a good season, and we're proud of that. And we intend to have a good season in college and pro basketball, and then move on to the baseball season. So, anyway, stick with us, and go to the website, jimfeist.com, for Hank's picks, my picks, and we'll talk to you soon.